going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And we got an update. We got a big update regarding head coach Billy Donovan that we're going to get into right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans. So we have an update coming to us according from Shams Charania, in which he says that before the start of this season, the Chicago Bulls actually extended head coach Billy Donovan quietly, not informing anyone, and adding several more years. That's the quote, several more years to Billy Donovan's contract. And the reason why this is important, and I wanted to do a video on this, is because you guys in the comments, a lot of Bulls Nation have made a lot of qualms about Billy Donovan, and some rightfully so. I have my own issues with head coach Billy Donovan, some of his schemes, some of the way that he uses players at times, things like that. But it seems like the front office and AK and Eversley are not worried about that. They have extended head coach Billy Donovan. Why is this just now coming out? I do not know. But considering some of the discourse that Bulls fandom does have with Billy Donovan, a lot of speculation going on how much Billy Donovan was still going to be here. Even some Bulls fans saying that Billy Donovan needed to be fired now. It seems like all that conversation was for naught because Billy Donovan is locked in with the Chicago Bulls organization for several more years, even past when his contract was supposed to end at the end of next season. What does that mean for the Bulls? What does that mean for Bulls fandom that has some issues? I have my own issues with Billy Donovan and some of the adjustments he makes, some things like that. Billy Donovan is not by any means stretch of the imagination a perfect coach, right? And some people even have doubts on just how far Billy Donovan can coach this team to get to. I've had my own questions on like Billy Donovan and players really developing under him. And, you know, even some of the offensive schemes, defensive schemes, some of the, like, not going to players like Vooch in the post as consistently as what we do. There's a lot of issues with the Chicago Bulls team, not all on Billy Donovan, right? Some on the player staff, some on the roster construction. There are issues with this team, as we know, as we sit at 9-11 below 500 so far in the season. And it just brings about a lot of questions on what this front office either has seen, what do they have planned? Do they have maybe a plan in which they think they're going to drastically improve this roster to really help Billy Donovan out? Are they not as concerned with the lack of development? Are they not as concerned with the lack of defensive intensity? Does this front office look at the roster they gave Billy Donovan and say, hey, we know there are some serious shooting and size concerns with this roster. We don't hold Billy Donovan accountable for that. We like his coaching job, but what he's done with these issues that we have on this roster, we're going to go ahead and extend him and focus on improving the roster and see how Billy Donovan does with that improvement. The reason why this also is going to be a sting for some Bulls fans is you have a coach like Ime Udoka who's out there who is probably not going to be back with the Boston Celtics. You have an assistant here in Chris Fleming that was even on the GM's poll at the beginning of the season marked down as the best assistant that GM's expected to become a pretty good head coach. So it seems like AK, Eversley are really confident in Billy Donovan. They seem to like what he's doing with this team. Does that mean they like the development that he's doing? Not playing Dalen Terry. Marko Simonovic hasn't developed. Patrick Williams is starting to come along and develop. Ayo Dosunmu, again, you guys know I really don't how good Ayo is, I don't put on Billy Donovan. I put that more so on Ayo Dosunmu just being ready and coming in as a player who played longer in college. But, you know, maybe ending the playoff drought. And again, this is not to say I'm not completely against Billy Donovan. I've been telling you guys, Billy Donovan is going to see the end of that contract. Now, I did think the end of that contract was going to be the end of next season, but it seems like Billy Donovan is going to be locked in here in Chicago for a very long time. Let me know how you guys feel about all that down below. Make sure you're following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail to sound off on this, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. And like I like to end everything on, go Bulls, love you guys, and see red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.